So make sure you take a few minutes and just say, how am I going to introduce this to the kids? How do I want to read it to them. I want to clarify it. I can say, I said to you, no 50-cent pieces. Because I did this problem with another group of teachers a while ago. And one of them said, well, I had a 50-cent piece. I'm like, I didn't even realize they existed anymore, but okay. She wasn't wrong, but I didn't think about it. I should have said quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies, and I never made that mistake again. So make sure you plan your introduction, how you're going to present the problem, what information you're going to give them, and what you want to make sure you don't say so that you give away the farm, right? Another thing is expectations for the anchor task. Different anchor tasks, you may have different expectations. I always say to the kids, ask 3 before me. And if you're in groups of 4, I don't want to come over there unless you've discussed it with all 4 of yourselves. So ask 3 before me. But I like to keep it to the group level questions. I only answer questions from the group. So that's an expectation I would always continuously convey to my kids. Things like that you expect them, that if they're done before you call time, that you want them to look for multiple solutions. So like when we did with like we worked on the triangle, I said to you, I know there's at least 7 here. So that means you're not allowed to see 1 and stop. So that was an expectation I set. You want to make sure you list out that expectations when you're planning your anchor task. I want to make sure that they're going to go on and find multiple solutions. One thing they do in Singapore that we don't do a very good job of here, and I'm guilty of this myself, is there's not a consistent, concerted effort to teach kids how to organize their work. They know how to organize their work, but it's not accidental. It's not because they live in Singapore and, they were born knowing their times tables. It's not like that. Teachers in Singapore consistently discuss how to show work and how to organize your thoughts visually when you're working. They require kids to explain their work visually and neatly so that they can understand it, so that the person next to them can understand it. And as they're walking around, if you get the answer and you tell me that you said $1.19, how did you get it? And you said, well, I figured it was, I can't see it. I'd make you go ahead and write out those systematic lists like I did on that last problem. All right, could you please show me your thought processes neatly? So they're constantly on those kids to show work neatly and to organize and structure their work. So I would reiterate that in my expectations. I want you to be able to justify your work. I want you to be able to show your work with justifications visually so I can come by and read it and check it, and the person next to you can understand what you did, and nobody can say to you, prove it.